your help, StarFox. Andros has declared war.
We're all familiar with Nintendo's big three: Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Metroid. For Nintendo fans, it's common knowledge, but for those of us who grew up on the N64, we remember a slightly different trio. See, in the mid to late 90s, the Metroid series seemed to have been lost in the transition to 3D, a problem which would be resolved in the following decade. But for those of us who needed our 64-bit outer space fix, there was no better game than StarFox 64.
We're entering Corneria City now.
So this game is essentially an enhanced and expanded remake of the original StarFox for the Super Nintendo. But that's not a bad thing.
You want a piece of me?
See, where the original was groundbreaking in its own right, the Super Nintendo hardware did seem to hold it back, at least a little bit. But the N64 really allowed StarFox to be exactly what it was supposed to be when it was originally created.
I admit defeat. Are you gonna listen to that monkey? You're not as stupid as you look.
Faster paced and larger in scope, StarFox 64 comes off as even more urgent of an adventure than the classic that it followed. Enemies come at you in merciless swarms, hidden items are spread across every corner, separate pathways appear depending on how you perform, and even more, all without ever feeling cluttered.
Can't let you do that, StarFox.
Andros has ordered us to take you down.
In fact, on the contrary, Nintendo was able to pack all of this into the game while still making it one of the most visually stunning games on its platform. This game looks amazing, even by today's standards. The graphics may be a little bit outdated, yes, but it doesn't seem to be anywhere near as blurred as its fellow members of the big three, Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time. Now, flying through this game is not the hardest thing in the world, but that's made up for by the game's multiple branching pathways. Where the original game only had 3 paths to choose from, this one has over 20, giving it almost infinite replay value, especially when compared to the original.
So this is StarFox. I'm going to crush you.
Enemy shield analyzed.
Now, I'm not saying that this game is anywhere near perfect. In fact, quite the opposite, there are some parts that can really get on your nerves. Some of the in-game dialogue can get really repetitive and annoying, and eventually you'll just find yourself shooting at your own team because you want them to shut up. Now, while this game is amazing, its legacy is kind of sad. Because even while subsequent sequels have been great, none of them really seem to have been able to live up to the legacy that is StarFox and StarFox 64. And those that have were freaking remakes. So we may never get to see another StarFox game in this vein, and if that's the case, let's just enjoy what we do have in StarFox 64.
We're heading out. All aircraft report.
You did it! I was worried for a moment.
You're becoming more like your father. I'm fine. You okay over there, Fox?